The world doesn't care how overwhelmed you feel. Life keeps coming at you, wave after wave. It's easy to believe you're powerless, that the weight of everything is too much to handle. But here's the thing. You're not stuck. You don't need to be buried under the pressure, and you certainly don't need to keep pretending you're okay. There's a way out, but it requires one thing: recognizing your ability to break free. What if the key to overcoming the chaos is already inside you, waiting to be unlocked? Would you be willing to face it head on? Eckhart Tolle, in his groundbreaking book, The Power of Now, speaks about this very concept when he says, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. So often, we let the future or the past control us, perpetuating the overwhelm. But by shifting our attention to the present, we free ourselves from the burden of time. The key to overcoming overwhelm is found not in doing more, but in being more present. If you're serious about your personal health, whether you want to stop suffering, get clear guidance on how to stop overthinking, or to be more present in life, now's the perfect time to subscribe to our channel. Like this video if you're ready to grow further as a person. Now, let's continue. Trying to navigate a stormy sea without a horizon is like trying to control overwhelming emotions. We could feel like we're drowning in the face of life's unexpected problems, including juggling the needs of our families, our careers, and our own aspirations. It can feel like we have no choice but to fulfill our responsibilities, and many of us feel overwhelmed by the weight of these demands. Feelings of being entirely overwhelmed by stress happen to a lot of people. The ability to be fully present is a valuable talent to have in case you ever face a huge obstacle in life, like an unexpected crisis that demands your immediate attention. I have trust in you. It has been taken note of. Conversely, digesting information mentally comes with its own unique kind of mental overload. Feeling overwhelmed is caused by both external factors and the internal mental processes that are attempting to make sense of those external factors. The mind is a superb instrument if used rightly. Used wrongly, however, it becomes very destructive. Our minds are continually analyzing information, fretting over what's to come, dwelling on the past, and becoming caught up in never-ending thought cycles, as Eckhart Tolle reminds us, in A New Earth. Permitting these thought patterns to take over and ensnare us in a state of mental isolation is a common cause of overwhelm. Stillness and separation from the mind are tenets of Tolle's teachings. Here, in the quiet, we can see things more clearly. Feelings of being unable to cope could be the result of a single issue or a chain reaction of challenges you're now facing. Although they do not pose an immediate danger to your life, the numerous problems you are currently facing are certainly making your life more difficult. Think about this scenario. You had a close relative die the day you were laid off from your job. Your lover has already left you by the time you return to your home. I am completely overwhelmed. I am completely overwhelmed. I can't handle it anymore. This isn't the real emergency. It's a bit different from what you may anticipate, and I get it. You feel overwhelmed by your anxieties because your rational mind is attempting to make sense of things that you cannot change right now. Even though you will have to deal with these difficulties in life, you will eventually be in a position to do something about them. Your investments may have crashed and burned, your bank account may be dry, or you may be unable to pay your rent, all of which can contribute to your emotions of being overwhelmed. Some people may be overwhelmed by mental turbulence and utter the words, "Oh my God, I can't take any more," when they're going through tough times. What do you think I should do now? This is the end of my life, and I don't know how to deal with it. You must move on immediately under these conditions. Be well prepared. That is the most critical thing. One way to train yourself to handle multiple challenges at once is to engage in activities that demand your physical presence on a daily basis. This is why I think it's important to exercise regularly, even when things are going well, in order to build what I call presence power. You may discover that you can focus on the present moment rather than your racing thoughts. when you're faced with challenging situations. This is because your presence power is growing within you. You can achieve this objective by utilizing breathing exercises and other methods. The thought, "I can't do it now," is just your mind attempting to tell you something. I need to give some real consideration to my difficulties. Practicing presence is just not something I can manage. There is no evidence to back up this belief. If you find yourself thinking this way while practicing mindfulness, remind yourself that you have the power to take a deliberate breath. It is within the capability of every single human being on this planet to breathe normally. The choice to take a deeper breath is entirely up to you. Where there is tranquility and a feeling of immensity, the mind cannot linger in the past or the future, as Eckhart Tolle so eloquently states. In times of feeling overwhelmed, remember that this very second is sufficient. Many times, we think that if we just think about it more, we'll figure it out. But the truth is, we can see things more clearly when we stop thinking and focus on the here and now. What makes our reality is not the power of our thoughts, but rather the freedom to choose to stand back and be. Take a moment to breathe and keep in mind what Eckhart Tolle says. You are not your mind. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, remember to tap into the quiet that lies underlying the wave. Physical exercise has positive effects when seen through a more realistic lens. Get some fresh air and focus on your breathing if you're feeling overwhelmed by stress. Getting out into nature can do wonders for your emotional and mental well-being when everything else fails, especially in urban areas. One can never be too distant from nature. A park or garden could be only around the corner. The outdoors, in contrast to city life, make a number of things much easier to accomplish. Being outside might help you focus on the present moment. In The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle often stresses the importance of being in the here and now. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have, Tolle says. By focusing on the here and now, whether we're in a park or a busy restaurant, we may make place for serenity to come into our minds. Connecting with the essence of being alive is the act of merely being in nature, of releasing worries about the future and remorse for the past. This is the crux of the idea of presence power, which, if mastered, lets you face life's storms with composure and clarity. After you've honed your presence power, you might discover that being in the middle of a metropolis feels as good as being in nature. Being outdoors is a great way to start practicing being present when you are new to it. Going on a stroll in the woods and concentrating on your breathing and the sensations you're experiencing can help you feel more in control of your life. If you put your mind to something, you can liberate yourself from some of the mental chains that have been limiting you. However, what if you are unable to physically withdraw to natural surroundings? Here, the importance of presence, the condition of just being, becomes paramount. Even in the middle of a city's chaotic energy, Eckhart Tolle invites us to discover that inner calm in his well-known teaching, A New Earth. According to him, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Life's chaotic cacophony can make you feel overwhelmed, but it's your mind's reaction that makes you even more stressed. Being fully present allows you to let go of the ideas that say, "I can't handle this anymore," and instead tap into a more profound state of tranquility that is accessible at all times. I am about to hear an intriguing tale from my youth. The years I spent as a child were filled with relentless pain. Even though I had some wonderful experiences with my family, our lives were often quite chaotic and filled with anger and screaming. The effects of my parents' unconscious training continued to affect others, despite their best efforts to shield us. Both at home and in class, I was a misery due to the emotional torment I was going through. My parents gave me a bicycle for Christmas when I was about 10 years old, and I used to cruise around the city on it. I was able to reach areas rich in natural elements like cornfields, Hedges, trees, and small groves within 15 minutes of bicycling from this medium-sized city. My spirits instantly lifted the moment I set foot in this tranquil spot. After giving it some more attention, the same idea kept popping into my head. This will always be here. I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but I could see how it related to nature. This innate understanding allowed me to distinguish between the human-made world, a sign of suffering, and the natural world, a symbol of freedom, prosperity, and peace. The clarity I experienced that day was both brief and profound. It was like catching a glimpse of something bigger than myself. Tranquility of nature served as a gentle reminder that we don't have to constantly seek out tranquility. It is there, waiting for us to take a moment to rest and enjoy it. In his book, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle delves into this subject, explaining the gap that allows us to feel genuine serenity. According to Eckhart, the moment you recognize the present moment as the only reality, you experience the gap, the space between thoughts. The space between thoughts, the stillness beneath the chaos. When I was a kid, riding my bike in the park, I unconsciously connected with that stillness, which is Eckhart's concept of presence. This incident occurred to me multiple times. It marked the start of my path to enlightenment. The immense power of nature is demonstrated here. Most people don't realize that most of the things they see around them are either created by humans or have some sort of natural origin. The natural environment and man-made items, such as buildings, cars, and furniture, make up half of your sensory experiences. I can see every single thing in my room that has ever been made by mankind right now. Looking out the window welcomed me with the beauty of nature. It is fascinating to see the interplay between the natural and man-made worlds at this spot, where you can find a few houseplants. Naturally, there's always the sky to think about. One can still perceive the sky even when they are in the midst of a densely populated urban region, devoid of any trees. When one needs a break from their own consciousness, they might look up into the sky and feel at peace. A constant reminder of life's dance is this interplay between the natural and the artificial. When you let go of the past and the future, you become more aware of the present moment. Eckhart Tolle says multiple times in A New Earth, describing this unification, you can find serenity in the here and now, whether you're in the middle of a forest or a city. The trick is to be fully present. No matter where you are, you may find solace in the sky, which seems to be there for everyone. Jesus mentioned the kingdom of heaven for this very reason. The kingdom of heaven, in my view, stands for the presence dimension, often called the emotional dimension. Jesus alludes to the immensity of his presence when he speaks of the celestial kingdom. Similarly, Buddha spoke the phrase sunyata, which is more accurately rendered as spaciousness than emptiness in English. Finding this aspect in one's own life is emphasized in both of these publications. When taken as a whole, these lessons show that, contrary to popular belief, there is really just one authentic message and one truth. Consequently, there is the manageable crisis, induced overwhelm, and the more abstract mental health-related overwhelm. There will be tough times for everyone, and we are living through a period when people are being tested in more and more ways than ever before. No one will be immune to the impact of problems. Conversely, you will be utterly uncomfortable and helpless if you have not adequately prepared for it. It is possible that the difficulties we are currently experiencing will be pivotal in our awakening. However, this will only come to pass if you are willing to confront them head. The teachings of Eckhart Tolle also offer a crucial perspective in this regard. He argues in The Power of Now that the key to overcoming adversity is to live in the here and now, no matter how difficult or overpowering that may be. Give in to what is, he writes. By embracing the present moment instead of resisting it, we might start to discover relief from feelings of being overwhelmed. Just say yes to life and watch how it starts to work for you instead of against you. Though they seem insurmountable at first glance, the difficulties you're experiencing right now also present you with a chance to learn and develop. All living things, including humans, must overcome formidable challenges on their path to enlightenment as part of the evolutionary process of consciousness. This part of the procedure is essential. So, everything works out all right in the end. When seen from a higher vantage point, everything that seems terrible at first look makes perfect sense. If you want the presence power to flow more effectively through you, you need to practice being more present. Although the ability to be a channel for and a container for presence develops with experience, presence is eternal. We may be in the world of time right now, but presence is timeless and transcendent. The mind ceases to be a barrier between you and life. A new earth, Tolle ND. No longer are you confined to your thoughts. You are liberated. As your awareness grows via being fully present, you will begin to perceive difficulties not as obstacles, but as chances for profound personal growth. You are equipped to handle life's highs and lows with serenity, thanks to your practice of present. Let us pause for some introspection now, that we have completed our discussion on overload management strategies. Although life's obstacles might seem insurmountable at times, remember that you are strong enough to find a way out of the chaos and get back on track. Feelings of being overwhelmed can be conquered, and a place of clarity and resilience can be reached via the use of simple yet highly effective tactics. Today, take a few minutes to sit quietly and focus on your breathing, or anything else is on your breathing, or anything else is on your mind. You might also try practicing mindful breathing. A more harmonious and enjoyable existence may be yours if you put these plans into motion. Let's keep growing together on this path of self-discovery. Subscribe to our channel for daily inspiration and grow as a person. Comment the word "now" and like the video to show your support. Also, consider sharing this video with someone who could use some encouragement to slow down and enjoy life more fully.